Why is Knowsley so poor? Knowsley, located just east of Liverpool, is a name that often flies under the radar. Yet for decades, it has consistently ranked among the most deprived areas in the UK. Its story is one of deep economic shifts, social challenges, and resilience. Despite being in close proximity to one of the UK's major cities, the borough has faced significant hardships that continue to affect thousands of families. But why is Knowsley so poor? In this video, we unpack the history, statistics, and structural issues that shape life in the borough, and explore the efforts being made to build a better future. From industry to instability, Knowsley's economic roots were once a source of pride. During the post-war years, it thrived on manufacturing, automotive, and engineering. The Ford Motor Company's Halewood plant, later operated by Jaguar Land Rover, was a cornerstone of employment. These were skilled, union-backed jobs that provided stability and income for entire households. But by the late 1970s and 1980s, deindustrialisation hit Merseyside hard. Global competition, automation, and shifting trade policies led to widespread closures. Knowsley was not immune. Thousands were made redundant, and many young workers found themselves without any local employment prospects. Unlike cities such as Manchester or Leeds, which diversified into finance, digital, and creative sectors, Knowsley lacked the infrastructure and investment to follow suit. The result was a growing unemployment rate that left scars still visible today. The harsh reality of low pay and limited job prospects. Although unemployment has decreased since the 1990s, job quality remains a challenge. Many of today's roles are in sectors like retail, care, and warehousing. These jobs, while essential, often offer low pay, part-time hours, or zero-hour contracts, none of which provide long-term financial security. In 2023, the average full-time wage in Knowsley stood at approximately £572 per week, significantly below the national average. For many households, budgeting is a constant struggle. People often find themselves juggling multiple part-time jobs just to stay afloat. This lack of financial headroom makes it difficult to save, invest in education, or plan for the future. It also contributes to rising levels of debt and dependence on food banks or charitable support. Income deprivation and child poverty. Income deprivation remains a pressing issue. According to the latest index of multiple deprivation, Knowsley ranks in the bottom 5 of all English local authorities. In neighbourhoods such as Stockbridge Village and Kirkby North, deprivation levels are particularly high. What's especially concerning is the rate of child poverty. Around 32% of children in Knowsley live in low-income households. That's nearly 1 in 3 children growing up without consistent access to healthy meals, warm clothing, or stable housing. These conditions not only impact physical health, but also cognitive development and emotional well-being. Teachers in local schools report higher than average rates of absenteeism, behavioural challenges, and low attainment, often linked to poverty at home. Poor health outcomes and life expectancy gaps. Poverty isn't just about money, it's also about health. Knowsley has some of the worst public health outcomes in England. Rates of chronic illness such as asthma, obesity, and cardiovascular disease are all above national averages. Mental health is also a growing concern. Long NHS waiting lists and limited access to community services mean many residents don't receive the support they need. The COVID-19 pandemic further strained healthcare access, disproportionately affecting lower-income households. Perhaps most striking is the difference in life expectancy. In wealthier parts of the UK, men can expect to live into their 80s. In some parts of Knowsley, the average male life expectancy is just 73.8 years. That's nearly a decade shorter, largely due to socio-economic factors. A broken education pipeline. Educational outcomes in Knowsley have historically been a concern. In 2018, the borough was the only one in England where no students progressed to Oxford or Cambridge, a sobering figure that attracted national attention. That statistic didn't reflect a lack of intelligence or ambition, but systemic barriers. Families struggling with poverty may not have access to private tutoring, stable internet, or quiet places to study. Some students are expected to take on care responsibilities at home, making academic focus difficult. While local schools and academies have made strides in improving exam results, long-standing perceptions remain. Employers and universities may view Knowsley postcodes as underperforming, further limiting opportunity. Expanding apprenticeships, boosting digital learning access, and improving literacy programs are all part of the council's strategy to close the skills gap. Housing problems and infrastructure failures. Knowsley's housing stock is among the most deprived in the UK. The 2021 census found that 59% of households were deprived in at least one housing-related aspect, such as overcrowding, lack of central heating, or physical disrepair. Some estates were built quickly in the mid-20th century and have aged poorly without consistent maintenance. This affects families on multiple levels. Poor housing is linked to respiratory problems, mental health stress, and educational disruption, especially for children living in cramped, shared bedrooms. Public infrastructure presents additional hurdles. Transport links within Knowsley and to Liverpool are not as robust as they could be. Buses are infrequent in some areas, and many residents without cars find it difficult to commute to work or school. These practical barriers quietly limit social mobility. Austerity, welfare reform, and local government cuts. Between 2010 and 2020, Knowsley Council saw a 56% cut in central government funding. This forced the closure of several libraries, reductions in youth services, and decreased funding for community organisations. For a borough already grappling with deprivation, the effects were significant. Welfare reforms have further complicated the picture. The introduction of universal credit, while intended to simplify the benefit system, led to payment delays and administrative errors that caused stress for vulnerable families. The two-child benefit cap has also disproportionately affected larger families in low-income areas. Local support organisations have stepped up to fill the gap, but many are overstretched and reliant on volunteers. The cumulative impact of these policy decisions has been to place additional pressure on households already facing hardship. Regeneration, resilience, and the road ahead. Despite its challenges, Knowsley is far from hopeless. A range of regeneration projects is reshaping its urban centres. The transformation of Prescott includes a new Shakespeare North Playhouse, aiming to drive cultural tourism and economic growth. Kirkby's town centre is being revitalised with new retail spaces, leisure facilities, and improved transport hubs. The Council's Knowsley 2030 strategy lays out a long-term vision to create a healthier, wealthier, and more vibrant borough. The expansion of Jaguar Land Rover in Halewood also holds promise, potentially bringing hundreds of skilled manufacturing jobs to the region. Community resilience remains one of Knowsley's greatest strengths. Local charities, community centres, and social enterprises are not only surviving, they're innovating. Youth mentorship programs, mental health pop-ups, and digital inclusion projects are giving people new tools to build better lives. Still, experts agree that tackling generational poverty requires more than local goodwill. It demands sustained investment from national government, targeted support, and a commitment to levelling up, not just in name, but in real, tangible opportunity. Knowsley's story is not just one of poverty, it's one of strength, perseverance, and quiet determination. The road ahead is long, but progress is being made. With sustained support, strategic investment, and a continued focus on equity, Knowsley has every chance to rise above its challenges and write a new chapter. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.